Welcome to Ensemble Techniques in Musicianship for Percussionists. This interactive instructional video is designed to offer student percussionists and conductors some insight into performing band and orchestral music more musically, making rehearsals more enjoyable. I will discuss drum history, technique, and ensemble skills for snare drum, bass drum, cymbals, tambourine, triangle, and maracas. Later in the video, I will perform excerpts of some standard band literature, and you will get the chance to play the same music along with the audio tape. You will need your instruments, the accompanying music booklet, and a music stand. So get your sticks and mallets and let's get started. This large Grand Republic snare drum is a replica of the snare drums commonly used during the Revolutionary War. When the rope is tensioned properly, the drum is extremely loud, making it an ideal instrument for signaling troops during battle. The snare drum was used in battle primarily because of its ability to be heard over musket and cannon fire. I will now demonstrate 3 camps again. Listen to the open double-stroke rolls. The rolls must be played as double bounces on a drum this size to activate the thick gut snares and allow the drum to resonate with maximum volume. The drum patterns known as rudiments were used in combination and variation to play music of the 18th century. The fife and drum corps drum major would call out the names of the rudiments to the drummers, and they would repeat the patterns, creating drum cadences. This is why so many of the rudiment names sound like their sticking patterns. Examples of this are the drag, ratamaqueue, or flamadiddle. Roll lengths are determined by the number of taps on the drumhead played as double bounces in this style of music. Listen to these examples: the paradiddle, flam tap, 5-stroke roll, 7-stroke roll, or the 5-stroke roll played in triple meter. The following is a brief excerpt of the Downfall of Paris using some of these rudiments. Notice the use of traditional snare drum grip to accommodate the angle of the drum as it hangs from the leather sling. This grip was widely used until the late 20th century when drum leveling carriers were introduced in marching bands, and percussionists decided that it made more sense to play all the percussion instruments with the same matched grip. During the Civil War, drum sizes decreased because the speed of warfare and troop movement increased. Troops marched from battle to battle much faster, and drums needed to be smaller to accommodate this. Compare the tempo of Yankee Doodle, written during the Revolutionary War, 1775 to 1783, and Dixie, written during the Civil War, 1861, 1865. The following is a snare drum part that could have been used with the melody of Dixie written during the Civil War. The late 19th and early 20th centuries saw a tremendous change in American music. As band music evolved from a method of moving troops to a means of entertainment, as orchestra music had been, the need for large, loud drums decreased. Signaling over great distances was no longer important. Bands sat down and played concerts, often using transcriptions of popular orchestral music. As drums were made smaller, to better balance with the winds and the strings, snares made of wire and cable were used instead of thick gut. These snares were much easier to play soft rhythms on. Today, most bands and orchestras play on snare drums ranging in size from 5 to 8 inches deep. The drums should be just below your belt level. Stand behind the drums with the snare throw-off directly in front of you. Picture a clock and have the snares run 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock. Grab the stick as if you're shaking hands with someone. Your thumb and your index finger are at the balance point. Then drop your hands to your sides and place them on the snare drum head at 5 o'clock and 7 o'clock. Elbows too wide, wrists too close together. Envision a pizza slice. Let the sticks freely bounce or rebound off the head. Playing at the edge is softer than at the center. Use this characteristic of the drum to your advantage. If the drum has too many high overtones or ring, synthetic mufflers may be used. This is a gel muffler. Gaffer's tape or other non-permanent tape may also be put on the outside of the head near the edge to cut some of the high overtone ring off of the drum. There are commercially available felt mufflers, most of which clip on to the rim of the drum. These are adjustable even when they're attached to the drum and are the preferred method of dampening the drum. Listen to the sound of the drum with a felt muffler. When playing rolls, allow the sticks to freely bounce off the head as you play individual buzzes. Too much pressure on the sticks will result in a squash bounce. Allow the sticks to bounce using your fingers, wrists, and arms to control the buzz. Although we don't often play double-stroke rolls in concert bands and orchestras today, we use the rudimental names for these rolls when deciding how many buzz strokes to place in each beat. This is very helpful to keeping the rhythm steady. In 2/4 or 4/4 time, where the beat is divided into equal subdivisions, a 5-stroke roll has the underlying hand pattern of 1/8 note and 2/16 notes. Listen to the roll played with its underlined subdivisions. You can follow along in the music booklet and practice this on your own. 5-stroke roll, duple subdivisions. A 7-stroke roll will have one more buzz stroke per 8th note beat and sound fuller or thicker than a 5-stroke roll. The 7-stroke roll will be more difficult to squeeze into each beat at fast tempos. Listen to the 7th-stroke roll with a triple or triplet subdivision. Some snare drummers will play tapped 6-stroke rolls, adding one extra note to a 5-stroke. This unique roll is very full and thick and has the accent at the beginning or the attack of the roll. This roll works very nicely with horn afterbeats in a march. Rolls in 6/8 time should be felt or pulsed in triple meter. Listen to the 5-stroke roll in 6/8 time. Rolls written with 8th notes are not always 5-stroke rolls. The roll length should be chosen to complement the meter and tempo of the music. Remember that 2/4 and 4/4 have duple subdivisions, while 6/8 and 12/8 have triple subdivisions. Use the rolls that complement the subdivisions in the music you are performing. Keeping your hand pattern steady and consistent will improve the rhythmic stability of your rolls. The attacks and releases of the rolls are extremely important to good ensemble playing with winds and strings.